MTSU Sports. The views and opinions on this show are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of WGNS, its management, other hosts, or advertisers.
All right, and we are here. This is Ed Raymer for the Raymer Show, and another hour with you tonight here from WGNS. Connor's on the board. We're here with you, and we have a very special guest. Well, I say that every week. All my guests are special guests. Isaac Dickey is back with us. Isaac's been here before. Fine young man. Isaac, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well, Ed. How are you?
Good. How's your family doing? Everybody doing good?
Everybody's doing good. I can report.
They what? You can report.
Report everybody's doing well. There we go.
Okay, good enough. Okay. Isaac has been good enough to come up here on a holiday weekend because we're going to discuss something that is important, and it's important to you. And I know lunchtimes, maybe they're just my pet projects that I've got, but this is important to all taxpayers of Rutherford County and, frankly, all of Middle Tennessee and all the state of Tennessee. You get right down to it. And we're talking about public schools, of which I am a proponent of and a child of, and so are our children. Okay, so just to let you know where we stand. And versus private schools and charter schools. And now, Isaac, you correct me. You know me well enough, but now you've known me since you was a little boy. You will not hurt my feelings, okay? You know that. And correct me when I'm out of line or wrong, okay? They are technically, the public school, charter schools are public schools, but...
Technically speaking.
Okay.
But, the funny thing about a charter school is that what we're doing here is we're mixing public and private funds. So charter schools, like your traditional public schools,
right,
are funded using local, state, and federal funds, a mix of all three. But they also have private backing behind them. So, one thing that's really interesting is kind of what you alluded to, is the fact that they are referred to as public schools, because that's obviously a big crux of the debate behind charter schools.
And that's how they were advertised back when this whole thing came up a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. I saw the ads on TV. And the children running around, and we're so happy because I'm part of a charter school.
Yep.
Shut up. And anyway, no, that's what I thought. Let kids sit down.
Agree.
It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about this, and I'll tell you what, we're going to get into it right now. But Connor, let's kick this thing off and get this thing out of the way here. But for right now, my name is Edwin Lee Raymer, and yes, I'm still a private investigator. Welcome aboard.
This is the Edwin Lee Raymer Show with your host, Ed Raymer, on your Good Neighbor station, News Radio, WGNS.
And that's a little rock and roll to kick you off. And this is the Edwin Lee Raymer Show, and I'm your host, Ed Raymer. And this show is produced here at the studios of WGNS, AM 1450, 100.5, 101.9 FM, right here in the heart of the great volunteer state, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Of course, you can reach us tonight with your questions, your comments, and we welcome your comments. We do at 615-893-1450. At 615-893-1450. Now, you can also send us a text to that number, and our producer and brother Connor over there will be glad to read it over the air for those of you that may be a little too high or too shy, don't want to come on, and we certainly understand that. Now, my guest, of course, Isaac Dickey. Some of you may know him if you're listening in. He's been here before, and we're glad to have him. You can find us. Where do you find us besides just on the good old-fashioned radio? You can find us on Facebook Live at News Radio WGNS. You can find us on YouTube live. We're on YouTube right now. All of my broadcasts are on there from several years back, and you can find them at WGNS Radio, or News Radio WGNS, and on YouTube, or you can type in the Edwin Lee Raymer Show. Believe it or not, it will come up on YouTube. And so that's how you find us, and I'm not going to spend much time on that tonight. And you can download the WGNS app and take WGNS with you wherever you go. Listen whenever you wish, and we've got some great programming. Jason Qualls does financial coaching. He's doing a great job. Good guest, good information in this day and time of taxes and savings and all of that, retirement accounts. He's got good information for you. And Angela Bingham. Angela just left here with Simplicity. Angie Renee wasn't with her tonight, but she had a prior commitment, I'm sure, with all the graduations, the holiday weekend, everything going on. But Simplicity, she's on every Sunday at 6. Tune up and listen to her. They're doing a great job and just doing great work, feeding people and doing what we're supposed to do as people that care for one another, and they are doing it. They're not just talking about it. Now, as I said, Isaac Dickey is our friend here tonight. Glad to have him with us. Glad to have you back. We spoke over the last week, 10 days, whatever. What have you found out? What is this? Because the governor set up a commission, which we talked about a while ago, which pretty well just bypasses our Board of Education. What have you got? What information do you have? And you wrote a term paper on this.
I did.
Yes.
Well over 30 pages. So let's just start by putting this across the board. So this just came out here in the last couple weeks. Tennessee, as far as per pupil funding, so the amount of funding on average that each student receives every year, is 50th in the United States. The state of Tennessee ranks 50th. So dead last of every state. And then if you include Washington, D.C. in that, we're 51st. So we really really are dead last in how much the state of Tennessee is willing to invest in our students. So that's troubling enough on its own, but then to kind of get into the subject matter at hand here, it really does go hand in hand. So charter schools were legalized in the state of Tennessee in 2002. First one opened, I believe, in the 2003-2004 school year. We continue to get more every year. I believe it was the 2023-2024 school year that the first charter school in our district opened. So as you alluded to a second ago, Bill Lee, the governor, has created a what he calls the Tennessee State Charter Commission. Yeah. So in every other state that charter schools are legalized, every charter school is approved on a 5-year charter. In Tennessee, it's 10 years.
Right.
So that obviously makes LEAs, which stands for Local Education Agency, so just think of it as your local school board. That obviously makes people a lot more hesitant to approve these schools. So, they've been advertised as an innovative form of learning, alternative to your traditional public school, sure. things like that. But what we're looking at here is the fact that the governor is basically attempting to bypass local boards of education. So this has happened.
Which he has already done.
He's already done it.
He's done it, yeah.
No better case than here in Rutherford County. As I mentioned a couple minutes ago, the first charter school opened in the 23-24 year. That was Rutherford Collegiate Prep over on Manson Pike, over by
which we've just been doing some research on. We've done some research on it, yeah.
Over on the west end of Murfreesboro. And that school was denied by the Rutherford County School Board. Luckily for the governor, his charter commission swooped in and was able to approve the school for a 10-year charter.
Right.
And about a month into the school year, that year, it became pretty evident that there were some glaring issues. And what ended up happening was quite a few students enrolled at that school ended up withdrawing, and they went back to their home school, so to speak, their regular zone school, and it really put the district in quite a bit of a bind.
True.
Because the funds had at that point already been allocated to the students at the charter school. And
what happens to those funds? What happens?
They're lost. So once the funds have been appropriated, the funds are not gonna leave with the student in the middle of the year. So before every school year, the state gets together. They have a formula. It can be found in the state TISA manual,
right,
which stands for the Tennessee Investment in Student Achievement. And basically, it's a formula, and it takes multiple factors into account and determines per pupil funding, which, as I mentioned, we're dead last in the nation in, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So once those funds are allocated per pupil and sent to the schools, if a student leaves in the middle of the year, those funds are not, they're not going to write a check to go with the student. There's no U-Haul truck pulling up behind them with the money.
No.
So,
and let me interject this right now, and that is one thing that our county mayor, Joe Carr, had asked about, and rightfully so. What happens to those funds when you want to get off the horse in the middle of the stream? And no one had an answer for him.
Unfortunately, there's not an answer.
There's just, so in other words, we just give the money to this bunch and that's it. And does this include the vouchers for the charter schools?
Go ahead. The vouchers are for private schools, so it's kind of a different thing.
Which I'm not for either, by the way, but go ahead.
Yeah, so those vouchers given to up to 20,000 students in the state of Tennessee. 83% of students, by the way, that received the voucher did not attend a public school the previous year, which is quite interesting. So we're giving money to the people over 80%. So let's just call it 4 in 5 students that received a voucher weren't in a public school to begin with. So we're just, it's essentially rich person welfare.
Sure it is.
Is what we're giving out right there.
Yeah, and they got into this in the state of Arizona, and Carrie Sharp with Channel 5 went out there a couple of years ago, and she did a piece on this, and they were assisting to bankrupt the state. They had people buying Steinway pianos and everything else. Mm-hmm. We've talked about this before. Now, folks, here's where I stand on this, and I'm not going to drag Isaac into it. He's a grown man now; he can stay where he wants. But if I love public schools, and here's what I go back to: you talk to most people, you talk to just about anybody you want to, that has moved here from out of state or from out of this county. They came here. Tell me what brought you here? Well, you got good schools. That's what brought them here, was our public schools. And I will say this, I'll give them a nod, the city schools of Murfreesboro. Doing a great job. David Settles is on that board. Or he was. I think he's still on it. Yeah, I believe he is. And doing a great job. Public schools. That's what brought these people here. And now all of a sudden, and if you have the money and the funds and your child wants to attend, or you want your child to attend a private school, that's fine. Now, I'm talking about, and I'm going to ruffle feathers here, which I don't really care anymore. And this is me talking, not Isaac, okay? Listen, we're talking about a private school, all right? Webb School down in Bell Buckle, is it? Mm-hmm. They are a private school, okay? They are a school. They've been there for many, many years. Fine campus, fine place. As far as I know, I don't know. No, I've never visited it, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. Now, and along with a couple of bad things, everybody gets their, they get their panties in a wad every once in a while. That's fine. And if you want to spend your money to do that and send your child there, fine. That's your prerogative. That's your right, okay? Don't ask me to pay for it, okay? Don't do it. Now, another thing. and Isaac, you may be able to help me out here. There's a big difference between a private school and a faith-based school.
Yes.
Okay, and I mean, there's a big difference in that. Mm-hmm. Can you elaborate on that, or have you? I mean, did your paper deal with that? That you did?
Not really. I'm not. I mean, honestly, I'd heard of the topic, but you kind of introduced it to me the other night.
Sure.
So
yeah.
You honestly probably know more on it than I do.
No, I don't. But it's a fact. It's it's fun. They do a lot of reading of the Bible and all that, and that's wonderful. That's great. Fine. Good for you. Bully for you. Okay. Good job. Okay. But that is not a true private school.
No.
Now, these schools, are these where these vouchers are going? Well, like, would they go to PCA, Providence Christian Academy? Is that right?
They could.
They can.
Because in the state of Tennessee, a private school is a private school. There's really no differentiation between them. So,
but it's Providence Christian Academy.
That's correct.
Father Ryan in Nashville is a Catholic, as we know, fine institution. Don't get me wrong. I've got people, friends, their children have gone there, fine kids, great students, great grades, great marks. That's wonderful. Been to commencement ceremonies there. Wonderful. Great job. But there's a little thing, this pesky little thing about mixing church and state. I've got a problem with that. Okay? Now, I'm getting off track. I'll shut up. Isaac, proceed. Tell us where you want to go with this. What have you found out about this?
Okay, so just to talk a little bit about the funding structure is probably the best place to go here, because that's really, I'd say, a big crux of this issue. It's not the full issue, but
Excuse me.
So all schools in the state, well, I was about to say all schools except private schools. That changed with the passing of the vouchers. Before the vouchers, all schools in the state of Tennessee received local, state, and federal funding.
Sure. Right.
So local funding, like property taxes collected, a certain amount of that's going to go to the schools. State funding through state taxes, and then federal funding, a certain amount of money goes to schools from the federal government every year. Depends on how poor of a state you are as to how much money you're going to get back from the federal government. So when charter schools were first instituted in the state, they followed, as far as receiving their public funds goes, they followed a similar structure as the rest of your traditional public schools.
Sure.
The local, the state, and the federal funds were all collected by the local education agencies, and they were dispersed equally. Well, the states decided, for whatever reason, to make it a little more complicated. The local funds and the federal funds are still to be supplied by the local education agencies, but the state funds are now coming directly from the state. The local school boards are never going to see that money.
No.
Which is crazy.
Sure.
So,
and which our local school board doesn't seem to have a problem with. They're all a bunch of Republicans anyway, so I guess that's what they want.
I would imagine so.
I'm guessing. I mean, I'm just talking. And then if you want to call in, come on, give me a call. Call your friends and neighbors. Get you a cup of Joe and sit back and listen to Ed Raymer gripe for a while, okay? Over Republican. I'm tired of paying money out. It's supposed to be done that way, folks. Mm-hmm. And you're letting this bunch of Republicans do this to you. They are painting you into a corner. Go ahead, Isaac. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. No, I'm sick of this mess. I'm sick of it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I hear you, Ed.
Okay.
So I guess the biggest issue in funding, and we talked about this right before we came on air.
Right.
The biggest issue in funding is that your traditional public schools are obviously fully publicly funded. The problem we get into with these charter schools is that we're mixing public and private funds, yet we're still referring to these schools as public schools.
Sure.
So what about, Ed, if a road was publicly and privately funded. Are we going to call that a public road if the private company can come in and say that they don't want certain people on their road?
Why do you keep bringing things like this up? I don't know. I don't know.
So I would say that's a big issue here. Before we ever get into any of the data about who wants these, what the outcomes are, anything like that, it's just confusing from the jump.
Sure it is.
The state, and I mean, we're not, by far, not the only state to have these.
Sure. Right.
And, I'll say this. I think a lot of what's happened, obviously, we all know, the Republicans, they control the state legislature
Sure.
and the governor's office.
Right.
But you look at it, and the Metro School Board, which one could reasonably assume is made up of mostly Democrats.
Yes. And which it probably is. Sure.
Is continuing to approve charter schools. So the question is why?
Mm-hmm.
So, I hate to say that it's because there is something in it for certain people.
I don't care. I'll say it.
But
that's exactly what it is. Go ahead.
I think it's a reasonable assumption to be made given
Sure it is.
Given the facts. So
yeah, something's going on somewhere that we're not seeing, and they've hidden very well from the public. Okay,
They have.
They're doing a good job because we've done just we haven't even scratched the surface, and now these charter schools can have boards of directors. Okay, There are 503Cs. Okay, well that's a nonprofit. Not really. Because those board members can be paid, as I understand it. And I'll stand corrected. Any of you Republicans want to call up and talk to me about it, yeah, you're welcome to do so, but you're not going to do it.
they're not working for free, I know that much.
No, they're not working for free. No. I mean, wake up. The bottom line of this, wake up, Democrats, get off your backsides and go vote in this election. Make sure you have not been purged from the rolls. This is the reason this young man is here tonight, because we have a problem. He's not here for his health. We've got a problem here. And I thank you for doing this. Thank you for coming up. I appreciate it. I do. Because I'm telling you, I don't know. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let me calm down. I'm going to get a cup of decaffeinated coffee. And no, I'm not. No. And let's go to our first break. Isaac Dickey is our guest tonight, and we're glad he's here. And we're glad you're listening, those of you that still are. If you haven't hung up on me yet, that's fine. If you have, that's okay too. Tune in next week. We'll talk about rodeos or something. Anyway, we're going to go to our first break. Connor, if you'll do that for us, we'd appreciate it. Ed Raymer for the Evan Lee Raymer Show. We'll be back with you right after this. Stay with us. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. If you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org.
And I want to tell you about a great friend of ours, J. Mullins Jewelers. You know, they've been in this county for going on 100 years now. And their new location is 1640 Memorial Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro. Jewelry for any and all occasions, weddings, birthdays, of course, all holidays, Christmas and everything, getting real busy around the Christmas holidays. Check them out at 1640 Memorial Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro. You know, J. Mullins Jewelers. Can't beat it.
Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. You know, if you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged followed, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
And I want to tell you about a great friend of ours, J. Mullins Jewelers. You know, they've been in this county for going on 100 years now. And their new location is 1640 Memorial Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro. Jewelry for any and all occasions, weddings, birthdays, of course, all holidays, Christmas and everything, getting real busy around the Christmas holidays. Check them out at 1640 Memorial Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro. You know, J. Mullins Jewelers. Can't beat it. All right, and we're back with you. Isaac Dickey's with me. Connor's on the board. Ed Raymer with you. We have a caller on the line. Caller, please go ahead. I think we've got you here.
The phone's not working, so I'll get him on in a minute.
He'll get you on in a minute. The phone is not working right now. Hang on a minute. Isaac, you mentioned, how's the quality of education in this school?
Well, it's really not very good at all. So, as part of my study,
Right.
I was able to collect some state testing data for our Rutherford County schools, as well as our traditional Rutherford County public schools, as well as the charter schools. And just flipping through it right here, our charter schools consistently performed worse than the benchmarks set by Rutherford County. So Rutherford County schools is the benchmark according to the state. That's the same for every district. So when making comparisons between schools, really what it's being compared to is the district as a whole. And flipping through this data, I mean, it's 3rd, 4th, 5th grade ELA, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade math. So your two of your core subjects there. And not one time does one of these schools perform better than the Rutherford County School District.
Not one time.
Not one time. And this is for the 2025 school end of year state testing. So it's quite interesting. So
Yeah,
what's being advertised is an alternative education, freedom in education, this, that, and the other. But whatever freedom that they're offering is, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe,
I see where you're going.
Maybe the teachers have more freedom to do what they want in class or whatever, but it's not translating to actual results of any kind.
Well, apparently not, because the parents are pulling their children back out. Mm-hmm. They go there for a month, 30 days, maybe 2 months, and they pull them out and say, this is not what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Okay? And we're out that money as taxpayers.
We
okay?
are. Mm-hmm.
Now, you start multiplying, you say, well, 1 or 2 kids, that's fine. We're talking about
Hundreds.
Right. Okay.
And just to put it into perspective, Ed, our per pupil funding that ranked dead last in the country, just to reiterate that point,
Sure.
was a little over $12,000 a student last year. So assuming that even just 100 of these students withdraw,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been out of school a few weeks now.
Right.
I'm not that good at math, but I mean, we're talking a very good sum of money here. And the problem that we've not really faced yet, because they're so new in the district, but that we're going to face, is the fact that when you pull this much money off the top, I mean, just looking at it here, the fiscal impact that charter schools had on our school district, the Rutherford County School District, in the 2024-2025 school year was about $8.2 million. So just imagine that $8.2 million that the school district would have had otherwise was not, it basically disappeared.
You were talking $12,000. How many kids?
Let's just say 100.
Okay, of course, times 100 is 1.2 million, of course. Okay, I'm just doing it to be sure that we're right. Okay, 1.2 million.
That's about what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's just pocket change. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, just $1.2 million.
Just $1.2 million. Don't worry about it. I could buy a whole lot of lunches for that. I can tell you that. Caller's on the line. Caller, please go ahead.
Mr. Raymer, how are you?
Hey, Jeff, is this you?
Yeah, it is.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, you know, I've been better, I guess. I can tell you things happened to me the last couple weeks, really this week. I'm not going to get into all that. You need to call me later on. We'll discuss it. But
all right.
what I want to say is the school stuff. Now, I know here a while back, of course, Isaac's done all this research. Here a while back, it hadn't been too long ago, they approved another one. It's supposed to be open this fall. Is that true?
Right, as I understand.
I can get the name of them. I couldn't tell you what the name of them is. None of these names I couldn't tell you.
Do they have a name yet, Isaac? Do you know?
They do. So the one that was just approved here in the last 3 weeks or so is Rutherford Prep. That company does currently operate a charter school in the district called Rutherford Collegiate Prep.
Is that the Rethink people that we were talking about?
They are.
Okay,
They are.
yeah, that's an interesting bunch. Take a look at them and go online.
Well, I just know that, though. But like I say, I told you before that they're going to build another. They've already got it really pretty much. It's going to open the fall middle school properly. It's about a couple miles from Blackman area.
Okay.
Where I live, near where I live. Of course, there's certain people that don't want to build schools. They don't want to build them. They say it's unsustainable. But yet they're off these charter schools every time you turn around. And they want them in. But you can't build no school. It costs too much money. But yet they want to put choice lanes up at there 24 to put me a choice to get the lane and charge me money.
Right.
We all know who that guy is. We all know who that guy is. He's against school. He's against spending money at school anyway. So we all know, but he don't want to spend it. But he said it's unsustainable for us to build school. But I understand. We need to build a choice lane. Put me in a choice to put in it. And I won't be getting in. I can tell you right now, I won't be doing it. I'll just sit in traffic and run out of gas, I reckon. I'll be walking 5 miles or what I'll be doing.
Okay.
I'm not going to sit some choice lane. But you might as well put toll roads in like you did years ago.
You are hung up on these toll roads, aren't you?
Well, no, I'm just saying when I grew up, they don't have them now. You know all about that, Kentucky.
Oh, yeah. We had them for years.
More, but
sure.
It's the same thing. It's just a lane instead of a road. It's the same exact concept. As soon as you get in that lane, they start charging. And you know that's what it is. They want to see your bill at your house. I mean, it's the same difference. It's the same difference. It's the same difference. You just think you're not paying one time and go on. It's just the same concept.
Okay.
I mean,
Right.
Maybe you know differently, but I was saying the charter schools, as far as the private schools, as far as I know, now you can tell me this if I'm wrong. The TCAPs they have to take, either they don't have to take them, or if they do, they don't have a requirement score to make. Is that true?
You're right. So private schools are not subject to the same state end-of-year testing. They are allowed to take TCAP if they want to take it, but they're not required to. And then previously with our little voucher program we're working with here, those students, which is up to 20,000 students in the state, were required to still take TCAP. Well, my papers just went off the table.
That's all right.
it was up to 20,000 students. Those up to 20,000 students that were on vouchers were still required to take TCAP. In April of this year, so just last month, House Bill 1881 was passed, which says that students on vouchers are no longer subject to state testing. So they're the only students that receive government funds that do not have to take the state test.
Okay, let me ask you, Jeff, do you have anything else? I'm sorry.
No, I'm good. I say, Emily, when me and you, we'll get together and pay that deposit on that Super Bowl ticket 4 years from now. you know how much it is? You know what you got to pay?
I had heard $4,000.
3,500.
3,500. Okay.
Me and you will split. We're talking about that. Me and you will split it. We'll hook us up. We get 4 years and after. We'll be in there watching that ball game. Y'all have a good week, and I'll have a good Memorial Day, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Jeff, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Jeff Neal, good supporter of this broadcast and supporter of this station. Now, you're talking about vouchers, 20,000 kids. Go ahead. And by the way, these test scores, what do these kids do to get in college? Do high school test scores mean anything, or is it still just the... Go ahead.
So it's to get into college, I mean, it's pretty much just GPA, which is interesting because on that topic, it's quite interesting to me that we have now said that these up to 20,000 students that receive vouchers don't have to take the state tests anymore, because what that does is it gives more freedom in the classroom. Not as many things have to be taught, not as many things have to be learned.
Yeah.
So because of that, I think it's a reasonable assumption to be made that we could have some people's GPAs inflated a little bit. So that kind of brings in another problem, to your point.
Sure.
But as far as getting into college, it's still based pretty much off GPA. Some colleges are test optional now, so you don't even have to take any form of standardized test, but most still do require at least either the ACT or the SAT. Some still require both.
Now, let me ask you at these schools, let me ask you this, okay? We're talking about money, folks. That's what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Do these schools have SRO officers? Are we required to provide SRO officers for these schools?
No, actually.
What do they do in the event? You know.
Well, most have, I believe, all have armed security of some kind. But see, it comes from the private funds that they receive. So, you know, it's a really...
This is a can of worms that I really did not know.
It really is. So, I'm not going to lie to you. I forget which one. But there was, I believe, don't quote me on this. I'm not trying to get sued.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I believe it was Springs and Power, our charter school in Smyrna, which interestingly enough operates in the Smyrna Boys and Girls Club.
Right, yeah.
Which is a really interesting venue because you have to take down the classrooms every afternoon, so it's not even really a stable learning environment. But I believe it was them who were operating without a school nurse for a time. And I also tell you that American Classical Academy, which operates in the old Ingram Books site in Laverne, you know, we have this, believe it or not, Ed, we have these things called laws in our country.
Yeah, I've broken a few of them. Yeah, it's all right.
And, you know, there's this little pesky state law that says you have to feed the children that come to your school if you're a public school. Well, these charter schools are supposed to be public schools, right?
Right.
Well, American Classical Academy was not providing school lunch to students.
Well, how long were they going to school? And what are their hours of operation?
Okay, so this is actually an appeal to charter schools. I'll give them this. It's basically free daycare for a lot of people because
that's just for the teachers. That's all that is.
Right.
That's fine, and I don't have a problem with it. Go ahead.
So a lot of charter schools. So some charter schools, it just depends on the school. Some are pretty regular school hours, like 8 to 3, somewhere in there.
Sure.
But some have expanded hours of after-school care. They extend their schedules into the summer, doing this and that.
Right.
So
the freedom to do that. Okay.
Right.
So in other words, you know, come what may, do what you want.
Yes. But to
Right.
answer your question, this about not providing school lunch went on a year and a half. A year and a half.
Well, what did they do about children needing to eat? I guess they brought their own lunch, I guess? Is that what you're supposed to? I guess that's what it was understood that's what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, so parents kind of signed a little informal agreement that they would provide their own lunches.
Always understand, folks, this entire bunch is about nothing but money. Okay? That's all they're about. They are not worried about the quality of education of your child. Okay? And unfortunately, I'm worried that I'm not worried anymore. I know it. Our school board is in a mess, folks, because all they're worried about is bowing to the knee of a bunch of Republican people that are elected. And they're all on board because they have to get elected too. God forbid they're not appointed. You know, it's bad enough as it is. And every single one of them, I believe I'm correct now, every single one, we've had an election here recently, and every single one of them are Republicans. Am I correct on that, Isaac? Have you checked? I'm sure I'm right.
To my knowledge, that is correct.
To my knowledge. And you're exactly right. What are you going to do about roads? You want to make them public and private too? Mm-hmm. I mean, I know my driveway is a private driveway. I understand that. Yeah. But I'm talking about a road you drive on. And I've heard people my age, I don't think I ought to be paying property tax anymore. My kids out of school. Are you a complete lunatic idiot? I mean, come on, man. What road are you going to drive on? Go ahead.
Exactly right. So I think, Ed, of all the things considered in this situation, I think the thing that's most disheartening to me about it is...
Right.
In the process of writing my paper, I had a fantastic mentor, Dr. Jeff McCann. He was principal at a couple schools in Laverne.
I've heard the name, I believe. Yeah.
He was principal over at Thurman Francis, and now he's the school choice coordinator for Rutherford County Schools. So he deals with everything involving charter schools and magnet schools. Well, part of his job is to prepare an annual report on the charter schools. And I think the thing that was most disheartening to me was when I went to see him give his annual report to the board, to see certain members of the board, some of which were just primary, matter of fact.
Sure.
To see certain members of the board not understand basic differences in types of tests in education.
Sure.
We saw people that had not even looked clearly at the certain state testing data that were just shocked and appalled at how bad some of these schools were. So,
and the board, they're numb to it.
They're numb to it.
Yeah.
And what's really, really disheartening is the fact that we're continuing to approve new schools without looking at the outcomes of our current ones.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And then to see the outcomes of our current charter schools and to then vote to open another one was quite disheartening to me.
Just like they're running blind.
They are.
Just, and with your fingers in your ears, just no. Yeah, we'll do it. Let's just do it. It's almost as though, to me, it is intentionally designed to be a confusing situation.
It definitely is.
Which I think I'm safe in saying that's pretty good. And these Republicans, they've gotten pretty good at that. Mm-hmm. Wording in a contract and how things are said and all that. They've gotten real good at that, and have been for years. Of course, God bless them, they needed to, because some of them are some of the dumbest people I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how they got, some of them, I don't know how they get home. Really, I don't. Some of you, I'm a Republican. Oh, are you now? Well, okay, good bully for you. But back to, to you, John, whatever your name is, Isaac. And no, seriously, it's confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
It really is.
Now, what was your paper about? You did 30 pages, term paper, for projects you had, I guess.
Yep.
What is the title of it? How did this come about?
So really the way it came about was a couple years ago, when Rutherford Collegiate Prep opened about 5 minutes from my house, had a next door neighbor that had a sign out front of their yard that said, something along the lines of proud founding family. Well, it was only a couple weeks into the school year that the article started to hit the local news, Channel 5, Channel 2.
Okay.
About certain issues that were plaguing this new school. Well, it was maybe a couple weeks after that the proud founding family sign was taken out of the yard.
Yeah, that's the end of that.
Interesting. So that's kind of what got me interested in the topic. Ended up going to a couple board meetings. I've spoken at a few board meetings about it. And then graduating from Central Magnet, one of our requirements is to write what they call the senior thesis. So to get the special Central Magnet diploma, you have to write this thesis. There's 5 chapters to it, blah, blah, blah. Well, when I was sitting around about a year ago at this point debating what to write my paper on, I thought back to the charter school issue. Look, I don't really have any intention of becoming a teacher. All love to all of them out there.
Right, sure.
But the education system, it's just something I care deeply about.
Sure.
I think it's one of those things that, unfortunately, we don't all agree on, but I feel like we should be able to agree on that what comes out of the education system is our future.
Exactly.
So we need to preserve that as much as possible. Not only preserve what we have, but make it better. And so, I was very blessed in my academic career. I had some amazing teachers, had some amazing experiences. And so...
well, I'll tell you, you got some pretty good parents, too.
Yeah, I do.
And it's... that has an effect on the situation as well. Mm-hmm. So, that helps. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go to our last break for a couple of minutes here, Connor, if we could. Isaac Dickens we're talking about the public school versus private schools. We've had one call. I don't know where you Republicans are. You're welcome to call in. I'd like to hear what you got to say about this, unless you're just too confused to know what you want to say. We'll be back with you right after this. Ed Raymer with Edwin Lee Raymer Show. Stay with us. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. If you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged followed, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
And I want to tell you about a great friend of ours, J. Mullins Jewelers. They've been in this county for going on 100 years now. And their new location is 1640 Memorial Boulevard, right here in Murfreesboro. Jewelry for any and all occasions, weddings, birthdays, of course, all holidays, Christmas and everything, getting real busy around the Christmas holidays. Check them out at 1640 Memorial Boulevard, right here in Murfreesboro. J. Mullins Jewelers. Can't beat it. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. If you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged followed, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org.
And I want to tell you about a great friend of ours, J. Mullins Jewelers. You know, they've been in this county for going on 100 years now. And their new location is 1640 Memorial Boulevard, right here in Murfreesboro. Jewelry for any and all occasions, weddings, birthdays, of course, all holidays, Christmas and everything, getting real busy around the Christmas holidays. Check them out at 1640 Memorial Boulevard, right here in Murfreesboro. You know, J. Mullins Jewelers. Can't beat it. And we are back. We've got about 8 minutes left. Isaac, once again, thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. Let me ask you. You love politics. Mm-hmm. You're a political person. What are you doing this summer? You going to be working a campaign or two, or what do you think?
I believe so. So I have a friend. Everybody knows the congressional districts were just redrawn quite suddenly.
Sure.
Mike Cortez, who's a current Nashville City Councilman, was originally running in District 5, is now running in District 4, which covers most of Rutherford County. We used to be able to say it covered all Rutherford County, but it covers most of Rutherford County.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, I'm looking to get involved with his campaign this summer.
Okay. So. All right. And he's big Republican, isn't he?
He's a Democrat. I know that may surprise you, Ed.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a surprise. Yeah, I didn't understand that.
Big shock.
You know, I get disgusted with people that are so easily swayed. Mm-hmm. That are so easily swayed. And you know, we had a problem when our kids were in school, and this was before, and this going back, 20 years, 25 years ago, whatever. And people didn't get as emotional about the private school thing, you know. Mm-hmm. You always had your bigger private schools, and that's fine. Like I said, that's wonderful. If you can afford to do that, bully for you, go for it. But the big thing was they wanted to attend a school because it was new. Mm-hmm. You know, because it's shiny and new. You know, that is nothing. Go ahead.
Well, let's just make this point real quick. The reason people never got so upset about people sending their kids to private schools was because up until a couple of years ago, if you wanted to send your kid to a private school, you were the one responsible for paying for the private school.
Exactly.
What's making everybody so upset now is the fact that we're mixing public and private funds.
Right.
And then, so that's the case with the school vouchers and with the charter schools. And in the charter schools case in particular, I was about to say I hate to use the word. I really don't hate to use the word. It's siphoning funds from our students.
Yeah, they're sucking it dry.
That's why people are getting so emotional about this topic as opposed to the private school.
Well, and here's the thing. The Republicans feel they are entitled to this. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. It's a private school. Don't you want it to be private? Or do you want, do I have a say-so in any of these funds, by the way, these vouchers? As a voter? As a citizen?
No, you don't. Very little. There's the old...
Yeah.
There's the old way of voting all the current people out, repealing it and doing all this and that, but look at our current situation.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous with these Republicans, and I'll tell you, that's where you got to start. You've got to get rid of those people. Mm-hmm. They have to be voted out. And folks, I've told you time and time again. By the way, I want you bunch of politicians, you bunch of Republicans. You want to do something for me and shut me up on one topic? Why don't you feed these kids?
free breakfast, free lunch, and a snack in the afternoon. Can you work that into your busy schedule? If you could, the kids would sure appreciate it, I'm sure. Regardless of their economic status, their socioeconomic status, forget all that. Feed all of them. And don't tell me, well, we couldn't do that. That costs too much money. No, you're feeding most of them already anyway. I'll guarantee you are when you break it down. And by the way, feed them good food. Put the ladies back in the lunchroom and prepare good meals. And I'm not talking about a bunch of fast food. And listen, I can criticize fast food because I've been on it all my life, okay? I've eaten more McDonald's hamburgers. I've built 2 or 3 McDonald's restaurants just through their sale to me to the Big Mac. I love them, and I love them today. Don't get me wrong. But it's not good food. It's not. Even McDonald's tells you that. Yeah. It's, we're not a staple of the American diet that you can just live on what we sell. They would be the first to tell you that. Now, it puts some ladies back in the lunchroom and you're like, well, we're talking about a lot of expense. No, you're not. It's an investment in our future. These are our students. This young man here tonight is here because he feels a need to speak up about something that's not right.
The public education system is what's got me sitting in this chair tonight. It's not a private school. It's not a charter school. It's the traditional public education system. If it's not broke, don't fix it. To all the people listening, we're at a crossroads right here with this topic.
Yes, we are.
And it's time for people, Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever you are, to stand up, to do what's right. Not because everybody's looking, but because so few people are looking. So I'd like to leave everyone with that message tonight. But
I agree, and we've got another comment here. What is Christian about this, not feeding children? I don't know.
It's a fair question to ask.
Yeah, it's a fair question. And it deserves an answer from the elected people in this county. And none of them want to call in here. Of course, they say they don't listen, but they do. Yes, they do. Because I hear you, and I listen through the week when you're out there.
This is why oversight's important.
Sure.
When that first kind of came out, so to speak, about American Classical Academy not providing lunch to their students, there were members of the board that looked shocked. They had no idea. No. And these are the people that are in charge of overseeing this. So it's time to get some new people in there.
Yeah.
We got some new candidates on the block. We got Julie Wishing, which
right.
I have my thoughts on her.
Sure.
Tammy Sharp just lost in her primary to Chuck Isbell. Chuck, he seems like a good guy.
He's a good man. He's done some good things, but he ran on the Republican ticket, and I'm sorry, I can't support. I cannot, in good conscience, support a Republican candidate. I just can't do it. I'm sorry. So, I don't want to even have any of them on. I'm sorry. I shouldn't feel that way. You've made such a mess of things, and our school board is a prime example of where to start. And our county commission is not far behind if they don't get on the ball. I'm telling you. And some of them have done some decent things, don't get me wrong. But, Hope Oliver is you couldn't find a better commissioner. And a lady works. She is a worker. I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. A good friend of mine, Carolyn Cox, I always thought Carolyn was one of the hardest workers I ever saw. But I'm going to tell you something. Hope, she ain't far behind. I'm telling you right now. And there's a couple of others that's in there, too. Isaac, we're in our last 30 seconds. What do you got to say? And we'll talk about this more because it's so confusing. I'm telling you, this is. Really go ahead. Go ahead. Say what you got to say.
I'd just like to encourage the people, all the people listening tonight, to take note of this issue, not just of this issue, but to find issues you're passionate about, to attend your city council meetings, your county commission meetings, your school board meetings. It seems like such a little thing, but in the long run, if nothing else, you stay educated, you stay active, you stay engaged with what's important. These are the things that have the biggest impact on your everyday life. So make sure to stay connected, stay plugged in, vote accordingly.
All politics is local, folks. This young man is a product of that. He follows this. I'm telling you. And all politics is local. That's where it starts. And you better get off your backside and get out there and get active. You better pay attention to what's going on. There's no excuse for not doing it anymore. Everything's online. You can watch the meetings online. You know, I know it's boring. I understand that. But they're spending your money. Okay? For Isaac Diggy, for Connor on the board, thank you. Both of you, I appreciate you. Two fine young men. I tell you, there's hope for the world yet, folks. Come on up here and sit with me for an hour sometime. Ed Raymer for you. And until next Sunday at 8 o'clock, not 6, like I said last Sunday, 8. At 8 o'clock, I'll catch you down the road. Good night.
Good Neighbor Network, WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna, voted Tennessee's top station for excellence in broadcasting.
You never know who might be taking the quiz.
Hi, I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, your personal astrophysicist.
Hey everyone, it's Phil Sims.
Hey everyone, it's Danica McKellar. It's Candace Bushnell.
I'm Jeremiah Brown.
Hey everyone, I'm Kix Brooks.
I'm John Taffer.
I'm Jennifer Eden.
Hey everybody, it's Kevin Nealon.
It's Mr. Wonderful here, and it's time to take the quiz.
5 questions in less than 5 minutes every day. Listen and follow at thequiz.fox.
The world of business moves fast. Stay on top of it with the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday. Fox Business reporters, anchors, and hosts will bring you beneath the stock market speculation and boardroom drama to tell you about the biggest business stories of today. Whether you're on Main Street or Wall Street, Fox Business is invested in you.
Listen to the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Now an update from the wgnsradio.com News Center.
Murfreesboro authorities are asking for the public's help as investigators look into a string of baseball equipment burglaries now believed to be connected across Middle Tennessee. At Middle Tennessee State University, campus police